Hey guys, Sully Sports Cards back. Haven't made a video in a bit. I feel like I say that every video, but I just been busy with life. But you know, I'm not gonna make a video of every pickup I make or anything like that. But figured I'd show you guys. I got a good little stack here of stuff that I've recently acquired. Some really nice stuff. I'd say about half of it is some Berra stuff, some Yogi Berra PC stuff, and then the half is just really nice vintage, I guess you'd call it. I want to start off by showing some of my Yogi stuff, but I want to start off by showing this really cool piece I found on eBay. I think I paid about 120 bucks for this. This is a 1949 Yankees program, which is awesome. Really cool in itself. It's got old advertisements, and I read through it. It's pretty interesting. Pretty cool to look back in time and see. But the reason why I bought it was because it was signed by Yogi Berra, and more importantly, it's Larry Yogi Berra, which is his first name, or Lawrence. I don't know if it's Larry for short, but he often doesn't sign Larry Yogi Berra, so I assume this was something of the time period, potentially, maybe shortly after the 49 period, but I just don't see why someone would get this signed any later. Maybe they had it in their collection and wanted to get it signed by Yogi Berra, but just in the pen, and the fact that he wrote Larry, he doesn't really do that with any of his later signatures, I noticed at least. So maybe this was a one-off, but I think it's of the time, which is really cool. So I thought that was an awesome, cheap find. It was on eBay. I get notifications about Yogi stuff, and I get notifications and immediately pounce on them if it's something that I like. So this is an example of that. But now we're going to get into cards. Again, I'll start off with the Yogi stuff. I'll kind of start it off descending from oldest to newest to my oldest card. I'm trying to find a lot of Yogi Berra nice looking on card signatures for vintage. So I ended up finding this really clean looking copy, off centered, 58 tops Yogi Berra. And this is an old slab, just authentic graded, but I think it would grade probably, it would be a low grade copy, I'd say, maybe 3, maybe a 3 or a 4 at best. But the auto's a 10, I would assume. Really clean, back's clean as well. I did, when I received this in the mail shortly after I dropped it, so I get a little chip in the case here. But regardless, really nice, cool piece of a 58. The signature placement is good. It's not like in his face or something, so thank you, Yogi, for doing that. But again, that was a Facebook pickup. This is one I think I've shown on here before, but I finally got it back from PSA. This is my 56. I submitted this raw. 56 tops Berra. Low grade, but auto came back at 10, which is great. Clean signature. Honestly, pretty clean card. No creases that I could see or anything like that. I think it's just beat up. But the signature looks great. Looks really similar to that 58 signature. So there is a stain back here. So yeah, great little piece there to add to the collection. Let me try to get the glare out of the way. This one is not a signed card, but this is a really sweet card I've been after for a while, and I think that it's a tough copy in the 55 set. It's a tough card to find, I think, nice, for whatever reason. I'm not really sure why. I've looked at a lot of copies and finally found this one. This one I found on PWCC. Color's great. Clarity's really great. Centering is really good, too. That's kind of why I bought it. Centering left to right is off a little bit when you're looking at it horizontally. But vertically left to right's great. Yeah, just a clean, really clean card. This is one of my favorite sets, like you guys know if you watch my videos. 55 set to me is just like classic 50s. Nice big logos, and the backs are beautiful too. So this was a PWCC top 15% too. That's what PWCC thought about this card, which is cool. So yeah, really happy to have this card. Again, it's just a tough card to find in good condition, or at least semi-centered. So glad to get that one. This is another sweet one. So I'm not sure if I've showed this one. I think I showed, I had a 52 that was previously signed. I ended up selling that for a really crazy offer that I got, but I ended up picking this up. Now, I found this card raw on eBay, submitted an offer to the seller. He accepted, or he countered, and we kind of worked something out. But I just got this back from PSA also, 52 tops Berra, and I really had never seen him sign in silver ink, especially on the 52. So auto is graded a 10. It's a pretty clean auto, I'd say. I'm kind of against, I like a blue Sharpie personally, but honestly, with this card being such kind of a dark card in general, I think the silver ink kind of pops. So this was graded a auto 10, PSA 3. So not the best of condition card. Centering left to right is actually really good. Up and down is a little off, but yeah, really awesome card to get. And then this one I know for a fact I've shown before, but I did submit this to the Mike Baker authentication eye appeal company, the Diamonds, NBA Diamonds, and this came back a gold diamond. So it's a PSA 4.5, 51 Berra, number 2 card in the set. Really one of my favorite Yogi Berra cards. Centering's good on this one. It just kind of like has rough corners and stuff, and crease free, stain free, which is great. It's tough to find sometimes on these 51 Bowmans. Came back a gold. I mean, the clarity is great, color is great, so I can see kind of why it did, which is great. So pretty happy about that card. At least, you know, I've had that for a bit, but cool to kind of, I guess you could say I'm sinking money into my pre-existing collection to kind of, how about contour it, you know, kind of make it how I want to make it. So anyways, so now I'm going to go on to the stuff that's really not so much Yogi oriented, which you guys might be interested in. This is a card that I pulled myself back in 2008, probably, or 2009, either or. This is a product called 2008 Donruss Threads. And this was a product that's an unlicensed MLB product, but Donruss took a break from baseball, I believe. That was back kind of when I was really seriously collecting new stuff. And I don't believe they produced anything from like 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008. They did some stuff in the early 2000s, and obviously before that, that was fantastic stuff, like awesome stuff. And they stopped for a couple years, and they came back with this set. Like I said, unlicensed. It had rookies, it had Hall of Famers, and it had like celebrities and stars. So it really wasn't any current day players. But as you can see, I pulled this card out of a hobby box, and I had it for a long time. I'm the one that submitted it to PSA. I was absolutely enthralled when I pulled it. It's actually one of the better cards in the set to pull. They had a few stars, like serious Hall of Famers in the set, like Hank Aaron. But the Maze kind of is the best base auto to pull, and this was an auto parallel that was like some sort of platinum, yep, number to 25. So I had this card. It was one of my prized cards for a while, and shortly after that, like 2010, 2011, I sort of lost interest in the hobby, and I actually sold this on eBay for like probably cheaper than I wanted to. I put it up for an auction. I was not an expert at it. Put it up there, sold it, and to this day, I was like, man, I wonder if I'll ever run into that card again. And here we go. On Instagram, someone bought it at a show and posted it, and I immediately was like, that's my exact card. That's insane. I hadn't seen that card in, at this point, 14 years, roughly. Does that make sense? Yeah, 14 years. And I asked the seller, I'm like, is this for sale? Like, you're not going to believe me. I'm not pulling your leg, but I pulled this exact card, and I graded this myself back in the day. And he's like, I'll sell it to you. So we worked out a deal. Again, it doesn't really fit in my collection, but it sort of does with a sense of a Hall of Famer, you know, an old school Hall of Famer like Willie Mays, and I have a lot of Willie Mays cards, but this is just like a sentimental pickup. Like, it's just a really, you know, to me, it brings back memories of my childhood and pulling this card myself and freaking out that I pulled this card. So there you go with that. I just figured I'd share that little story with you guys. If you watch for vintage, this isn't vintage, but pretty cool nonetheless. Next cards are 3 of my kind of top cards I recently picked up. I'm going to start with this card. Oh, sorry, guys. I'm going to start with this card. This is a card I've wanted for a while now. This is a very clean copy. I've been looking for the right copy to buy. This is a 1954 Topps number 1 card in the set, Ted Williams. And I bought this on eBay. It's SGC 4.5. The color is like popping on this one. Registration's popping on this one. It's really great. The back color is fantastic. Really not too much chipping around that green border. A little something there. I'm not sure what that is, but it landed at an SGC 4.5, and I submitted this myself to NBA Mike Baker, and it got the gold diamond, which, you know, I assumed it was going to. I looked at a lot of copies, and if you notice, like, it's off-centered slightly left to right. And a lot of the copies, I even looked at the high-grade copies, like the PSA 8s, PSA 9s, they have this pink semi-shade of orange going up the right side. And I haven't really seen a copy that didn't have that. So I thought at first it was off-centered a little bit, but I just hadn't found a copy that... This is about as best centering as I believe you can get with this card, is what I'm trying to say, which is great. And like that defect right there of like that missing orange, that's in almost every copy I've seen as well. So I looked at those things before I submitted this to make sure I wasn't tricking myself to say, oh, there's, you know, some color loss there, it's off-centered. I looked to see how the card was printed overall, and it seems like it had these traits. But nonetheless, really, really happy to own this card. My goal is to find a similar version of this card, but the last card in the set, which is also Ted Williams. That's the yellow one, if you guys aren't familiar with that. So, again, really great card. Really happy to own this one. I'll move this bearer over. I'll put him here. So now I got 2 more cards left. I'll show the really good one for the last, I guess. This is a card that I bought at a card show in Quincy, Massachusetts fairly recently. I've been in search for this card, like you guys have heard me say it before. I love the set, and I wanted a solid Hank Aaron card. I owned an SGC 4.5 that I sold a while back. It just didn't cut it for me. It was off-centered. The corners were rough. And I stumbled upon a dealer at the show in Quincy, that had a bunch of nice eye appeal cards. Some are raw, some are graded. And I saw this 4 here, and I'm like looking at it, and I'm like, all right, color's great. Centering is for a 55 is like close to 50-50. I mean, it's really, really nice. Even on that left side, I mean, it's really nice. And the back's fantastic too. So I'm like, I have to buy this card. This is a copy of that I've been waiting for. And again, this is a card, you go into any card show, you're going to see a lot of these. There's no question. But to find a copy this clean, low grade, and affordable, it sometimes can be tough. And I think people are realizing that it's tough, and these are probably selling for a premium. I think I bought it for a fair price. And I submitted it along with my Ted Williams card to Mike Baker, and this one got a NBA gold diamond, which is great too. I think the gold on gold looks cool, and again, it's something I like. It caught on with me, and I kind of enjoy sending cards there and seeing how they come out, and I'm a big eye appeal guy, so it adds to that. So really great card there. Again, I don't know why I graded a 4. I really looked at it up and down. I don't see any creasing, but I'm assuming there's something I'm missing on this card, but who am I? I'm not a PSA grader. All right. So now my last and final card. This has been a holy grail of mine for a while, to find the right copy at the right price. I'm not rich by any means. I obviously have a budget. But I found this card on Facebook, fit the bill, and I worked out a deal. So this is a 1955 Topps Clemente rookie card. Color is really great. I'd say it's I'm not sure if the camera's picking up. It's a pretty vibrant green. It looks great. Centering and clarity and color is obviously why I bought this. The centering is really good for a 3. It's got a soft corner over there, but overall, really great card. And I did talk to the seller before, and he told me that there's a crease. I'm not sure if you can pick it up. Somewhere near his head, you can kind of see a crease that brought this to a PSA 3. But otherwise, you know, it's a really nice card. There's some marks. There's some like marks up here and some oddball stuff here and there. There's another mark here. So I don't think this would register to like an NBA to get any certification on silver or gold, maybe because of those features. But regardless, I don't care. The centering is what I was focused on. These come horribly off-centered. If you're ever looking at buying this card, you'll attest to that as well. So this is such an awesome card that I'm really happy to own in my collection of, you know, it's one of the classic cards of the 50s. It's to me, it's one of the big ones. So, but anyways, that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed. There's a trend with these videos. Seems like 55s are popular in my eyes, that I purchased at least, and then some Yogi stuff. So hopefully that's not too boring for you guys, and hopefully you enjoyed the story about the maze too. So that's it. I appreciate you guys watching. I'm still picking stuff up, and I'll make some more videos soon whenever I get the chance. So thanks.